What we're doing right now is I've got a few spots. This, if I was to put this, the next piece of plywood right in this spot over here, it would be too high. That edge was too high, and this floor was definitely not level, so we had to level it up, and that was a high spot, and so I didn't want to start at that higher spot there. So we're going to do some self-leveling concrete, which is what this is right here, and you just pour it in. You don't want to put too much in your hole, which I did a minute ago. So I'm having to take some of it out of there. Anyway, it's a pretty nifty little product. We've got some gaps in our, see right there? Well, we got some, where it's falling through that lapping gap, but that's all right. We can always come back and add a little bit more, or don't even worry about it, you know. As long as you get it pretty close to where you need it. The secret with this stuff is, don't put too much in to start with. That really is the secret. Alright, so what I'm going to do here to make it a little easier against that wall right there, I'm going to pour me some of this into the pan here. Kind of easier to handle it. There. So what I'm going to have to do is just kind of dip this in here. I don't know if you can see right there where that edge right there is way higher than the base of this right here, so that's why we're floating this in. So I'm going to just kind of try to get some of this in here. It's kind of hard to do. This stuff is pretty liquidy. It doesn't matter though. This stuff is sand right up. Kind of a self-leveling material. Just getting it where you want it is the key. And don't let it set up too much, because then it's hard to kind of deal with it. Now my daughter had an idea about how to apply this stuff, and her idea was to take a 1 gallon bag and pour this into the 1 gallon bag and clip off the corner of it and just squeeze it in there that way. That's not a bad idea.
Thanks.
Anyway, it's a little late now. Now there's always somebody's got a better idea. That, you know, it's easy. You watch somebody do something, you say, "Oh man, you could have done it easy if you did this," and you know, and that's okay. It's a good thing. See how this stuff just kind of floats to the corner? I think that's why they call this self-leveling. You see it? Mm-hmm. See, it's kind of floating and leveling itself out. I still got to put some more in right there. Secret is don't put too much in there, because then what are you going to do? Put too much in there. Now you got to get it out of there. See it right there? You can see see how the light is shining right there? See right across here? It looks just right. And then right there, we're just a little low. I'm going to put a little bit more right there and hope that that'll float that out. Look at that. That stuff's pretty cool. Now I know it's a little messy, but now over here, what I'm shine a light over in this corner. I don't know that you can see it. You need to, I gotta, see this right there? I got a gap, see it? So we're gonna float this whole area right here in. Make sure we're clean. This is very, very lightly damp. You don't want to get it real wet before you start. All right, that should do it. And we're just gonna, it's about a good eighth of an inch around here, so I'm gonna just kind of pour some in and let's just see what happens. It doesn't sound right, does it? Just see what happens. That's not usually the way I do it, but we're kind of doing that. We're kind of seeing what's happening here. See if we can kind of move it. It's already getting tacky where it's not as liquidy as it was when we first started with it. So I'm gonna try to push that stuff where I want it, and then leave it alone. Let it float itself out. But the more you try to mess with it, the worse it gets. Here's my ridge right there. If we can get that to right there, and then right around here. I'd rather have to add a little bit later than I had to have to take it off. That makes sense?
Absolutely.
Nothing like sand and concrete. Mortar, thin set, or thin set's not really so bad, but if you have a bunch of it to sand, boy, it's a mess. You see the texture of this? Well, I'll tell you what, it sticks well. You can feel it. You don't have to worry about so much getting that perfect. We're going to be putting Dietrich over this, which we'll start on here in a while, but not just yet. We still got, we're going to do the shower first, in case you were curious. Stuff's already setting up. You don't have a lot of working time with this. And we mixed it pretty wet, so. I don't get up in that corner.
Is there a point that this stops leveling itself? Like when it gets too
Yeah,
set
starts
up, then
getting
it
too
stops?
heavy. Yeah, exactly. Well, so you gotta get it on and get off of it and leave it alone. And I can see right there, that's already. that's
Setting
getting-
up.
Yeah, but it's also a little high right there, so I'm trying to level that out a little bit.
Move it.
Yep, if you can. But you can see it's already. Yeah, our playing time's about over. I'm high right there, see it? So I gotta dig some of that out of there. try to get it out now if I can, so I don't have to. Big spots like this are a little harder to do. Oh, that was not very good. Before I started messing with it. That looks better. And gave me a scare there for a minute. As long as I'm not too high, a little skin float's no big deal. But well, if you got to sand it all off, man, you're like, man, that was a mistake. I have to say the secret to this is getting it on as quick as you can. And then quit playing with it. Let it do what it's supposed to do, which is self-leveling. I think we're past the point of this thing self-leveling itself. Alright, let's just leave that alone. It looks not bad. Not the best I've ever done, but it's not bad. Tomorrow when it's all set, I'll let you know how it came out.